Hey scrubbers, it's Vanessa here, and today I have a process video that goes along with a blog post that is up on Traci Reed Designs, and I'm using the Oh What Fun collection, which is Traci's new Christmas collection, and I'm going to create a really fun sort of Christmas decor kind of piece that you can put up. I'm thinking about making a couple of these. I'm only going to do one on camera, but I'm thinking about doing a trio of these that I can either hang or lean or display some way with the rest of my Christmas decorations. And so this is a really simple project. All you need is obviously the digital collection, or what you're going to use for your pattern papers and your embellishments, and then some trim if you want, some either sequins or enamel dots or Nuvo drops, something, or at least I recommend something that will allow you to have a little bit of sparkle as well. And then you can use wet glue, ATG, your glue gun. I have a glue gun. I would recommend, if you're going to add trim to the edges, which I am for this particular hoop, I would use a glue gun. Even adding the paper to the back. I think anything I'm trying to glue to the base, wet glue should work. I don't think ATG would probably stay, but I would definitely say glue gun for the trim. You probably could use the wet glue for if you're attaching it to the wood piece and you're attaching paper to the wood. That should work fine. But trims, I would definitely recommend you use hot glue. So I've got all of my pieces laid out. I'm keeping this really simple. This isn't going to take very long. So I'm going to show you what it is that I'm going to do. I have decided, rather than a pattern paper for my background, I did decide to go with, this is, I believe, one of the signature papers from the 6x8 collection for the Oh What Fun. And so I have printed that out and I've laid it down on my paper. And so there's a couple ways you can do this. You can choose to put it so that you're going to put it on this first ring of the hoop, and so it would be sort of, you wouldn't have like the depth that you have here, like that I'm showing here. You can choose to do what I'm doing, which is I'm going to put it on the back of the wreath. So I'm going to glue it to this wood piece, to both pieces. So I'm going to trace on the outside and cut just inside that circle and be able to glue it to this so that I have depth with the top of the wreath and the bottom, so I can pop up anything I want to put in here. I can pop that up on foam. I can glue to the outside of the wreath, or the hoop in this case. So it's just up to you how you want to do it. Another fun idea, one I'm thinking about if I make more than one, I'm thinking about gluing the paper to the back again, but adding an acetate piece to the front, and maybe creating a shaker, and maybe, because it will all fall to the bottom, like making sure I strategically glue some of it to the paper so that you get it kind of set as a shaker, but a shaker element nonetheless. Or you could even do I've seen them where people have done a shaker in the bottom half and made it a pocket. So that's another idea, is you could have it so you could put ephemera pieces, or maybe even cards that you get. And so I'm thinking I could do like a half circle and make this bottom half be a shaker and turn it into a pocket. So that's another idea. Lots and lots. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You can sort of play with this and create whatever sort of design that you want. It's really, the sky's the limit with this. So I'm just placing this where I want it, and then, like I said, I am just going to trace with my pencil around the outside, and then remember that I'm tracing on the outside, but I know I'm going to cut inside. I'm going to cut inside this circle, so I'm just being sure to trace it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I just need to give myself a rough circle, and I'll trace inside, and then I'm not going to do that on camera, but basically all I'm going to do is then glue this paper to the back of my hoop. So I'm going to do that off camera. The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pom-pom trim, and I don't know that I'm going to cover the metal. I'm not really worried about that piece, but basically I'm going to take my hot glue and I am going to glue all the way around my hoop with my pom-pom trim so that it will look ultimately like this once my paper is cut and glued. I'll have that trim, and then this I have cut. I'm thinking about creating a bow and possibly a hanger that'll go up here to be able to hang this should I choose. So I just have some red and white ribbon. So what I'm going to do is off camera, and I'll show you, all that I'm really going to do is just go inside of that inside of that traced circle, and you have a little bit of play here because it is quite wide, so even if I don't cut this perfectly, I can trim it, so I'm not super worried about it. I can trim it once it's even glued down, and I'm certainly not an expert cutter, so I guess I am doing this all on camera. It is going to make this video a little bit longer than I intended, but nonetheless, I'll at least do this part. I'm going to do the trim off camera because that is going to be a little tedious, but see how now it will fit in here. And like I said, I might have to do a little bit of trimming once I get it glued, but ultimately it's now going to go in here like this. Once I get it placed, as you can see, that is ultimately what it's going to look like. So I really like that. It's going to be super cute. So like I said, I'm going to go now and get this glued down, attach my trim that's going to go here, and attach my ribbon, and I'll explain that part when I get back. It's simply, I'm just going to make a little loop and a bow. Super simple and easy, nothing too complicated on this project at all. When I come back, I'll have those pieces done, and we'll take the embellishment that I have here and start putting it on our wreath, or our hoop, whatever you would call it, wreath, hoop. Okay, so I have my background paper, which I did glue with just some wet glue for that background paper, and it glued fine to the wooden wreath, and it's staying just fine. I would recommend for any trims a hot glue. So you can see I added that pom-pom trim around the edges, and then I did go ahead and add the ribbon. I just did a simple fold over. I'll cut that off. It's a little long, but you can make this hoop or little loop as large as you need it to be, depending on how you want to hang it. If you choose to hang it, I did that. I may not hang it, but it's still cute either way. And then you could even put an embellishment here if you wanted to. And then I just created a bow, and I think what I'm going to end up doing is adding a little bit of hot glue to each one of the loops and gluing it just so that they stay down right about here. And then I'm not sure how long I want my little ends to be. So I'm just going to leave those till the end and I'll cut them eventually. But like I said, I'm probably going to hot glue just these under just the bottom parts of the loops, so that they kind of stay a little bit in place, something like that. But that is the gist of it. And technically you could leave it like this and call it good. You wouldn't even have to do anything else if you didn't really want to. But this is where the fun comes in. Like I said, I'm keeping mine super simple. But here is what I was planning to do. What I liked about putting the paper on the back was it gave me sort of that depth and that shadow box kind of effect, where I thought I could place some embellishments, and I thought this stack of presents here at the bottom, sort of mirroring like the presents under the tree in the picture, would be kind of fun. So I'm thinking I'm going to layer these up. Now obviously I'm not going to have anything behind them because again I want that depth, so I'm going to be gluing them to the wooden part of the hoop. And then these little snowflakes, I do plan to pop these up with dimensional adhesive, which is also what is great about using the paper on the back, in the fact that I can then make these have some dimensional adhesive behind them, and they'll give a little lift to the page as well. And then the florals, I decided that again I want to just decorate the outside of my wreath. So I'm going to layer up the florals so that I get them on the edges, and then I'm going to put the holly leaves on the edges as well, underneath the larger florals. So it's definitely going to take a little finagling, but I'm going to lay it out so you can see, and then I'll glue it off camera. But thinking I'm going to have that one there, and then another set here. I don't want them to be exactly right across from each other. I want them to have a little bit of separation between the two. And then I thought about moving this up here and having actually a third one down here. So I'm debating whether I'm going to actually do that or not now that I'm looking at it. Kind of liking this, just like that. And then these down here like that. And then do I do just one more floral, or I could do a floral up there, but I don't really think it needs it up there. Could add florals in behind, but again I don't know that it really needs that there either. But again, I could have just those two sort of in behind like that. That's kind of cute. I don't mind that so much. I am going to say I definitely am happy with the two floral clusters. This one down here I'm not 100% sure, but I want to get these glued down. My last finishing touch is going to be coming in with the Nouveau drops, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with those. So I think what I'm going to do is get this glued down. That way I can cut these to the appropriate length. And that way I won't have to cut them after I put the Nouveau down, because it is going to take a second for this to dry. So yeah, I'm going to do that and we'll come back. Okay, we are going to finish this up. So as you can see, I've got everything glued down. I've got some really great dimension with the things on top, and then I did, like I said, popped up those snowflakes. I did tack down my bow so that the little ends don't sort of get in the way of the picture of my little art piece. And so I haven't decided if I'm going to add the green, but basically for the Nuvo drops, I really just want to fill the centers of the flowers and then the centers of the snowflakes. I'm not going to do all the points of the snowflakes or anything. I just want to do a dollop in the center of the snowflakes on the inside. And this will add just that perfect. This one is a pearl Nuvo drop, and I'm not an expert with Nuvo drops, but if you want to know the color, this one is the crystal drop. And so I can tap that a little bit so you can kind of see it. Hopefully the camera picks it up. It just is going to give a little pearlized dot into the center of those. And then the florals, in the colored ones, I'm going to try, this might all end up going together, but I want it to try to do 3 dots if I can. The way my flowers are positioned, it might be difficult, but I'm going to try to do 3 dots in each of the bigger ones, and then probably just 1 in the center of the little one, and then again try to do 3 sort of little dots. They're going to kind of touch, so they might bleed into each other. We're going to try to make them separate. I'm not too worried about it either way, but those ones are going to have 3 little pearls. See, like that one all went together, but that's okay. It is okay. And then in this one, it's just going to have 1 big red dot, and this is crystal drops in autumn red. So if you're looking for a red that really matches the Oh What Fun collection, this autumn red is a great one. I can definitely say it matches pretty well. And then let's see if I can do 3 in that one. Yeah, they're definitely going to touch together, but that is okay. So there you have it. I don't think I'm going to add the green. I really just like how simple and sweet this looks. So I am going to call this done. There will be still photos coming up at the end. Go check out the blog post, and remember that I believe there's still a sale on this collection on Traci Reed Designs. So with that, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.